what to do when you're reporting to two different departments, two different projects, and two different senior managers or the directors. And what to do when two contradictory instructions leaves you confused. As an employee, many times it happens that we have to work in multiple projects. Now, multiple projects headed by multiple senior people. Now, one instruction from one senior people or your manager or the director might be completely contradictory to what the other directors or the department head might be saying. And when you are working parallelly, many a times it arises that you are left in confusion, and that confusion causes mistakes to happen. Now, you couldn't afford constantly performing poor and resulting in mistakes. So, how to deal with such a situation? How to deal with a situation when you are reporting to seniors and they are themselves giving contradictory instructions? The answer to it is simple. The first, I believe, you have to be an open learner. What I mean by open learner is you need to learn to accept the good from all the people working around. See, every senior people who are heading a department or heading a project is there because of their capability, because of their man management, because of their resource management, because of their operational skill, and many a times because of their technical skills too. Now, when you are working with one such director, one such manager, when you are an open learner, what you need to do is majorly try focus on learning what's best from that particular senior, what is best in terms of his deliverables, what is best in making him the head of the department. So when you learn the working skills of these managers or these directors or head of the departments, not only you grow in terms of knowledge enhancement, but also you vibe in or you tune in, or as we say, you gel in along with the working qualities or working condition of that particular person, because everybody in an organization works in a different manner. They have their personal skill sets which they apply, they have their personal operational skill sets which they apply towards delivering their best. So when you try learn those, not only you incorporate those better skills in yourself, also what happens is you tend to understand the psychology, the mentality or the work procedure of your senior much better. So instead of going into a conflict, what you can do is best is you need to understand what is going best in this particular operation from that senior's position which is driving this project. What is it from this manager or this director that is driving this particular department, and what is this procedure which he is implementing which is actually driving the workforce of his department or the organization. So when that is a primary focus of you, not only you incorporate those better qualities, you understand how to work along with those bosses much better. So one boss might be contradictory to another, one director might be contradictory to another. I have seen it many a times happen. See, when you're working with the R&D team, and I had the privilege of reporting to the R&D team and uh, the program coding team and the graphics user interface team. So these three teams ultimately are working towards making the software which is the end product. But each team had, I have seen that, I have found that each team had their opinion about, without our contribution the application wouldn't have been working. See, the coder was thinking it's because of his complex coding that the application is there, whereas the GUI team says without our look and feel the application would have been much complex and customer would have found it very difficult to use. And escalation team were always, the business escalation team were always into this, like we are working with the customers directly, and we understand their product, the problem while using the product much better. So we are the people who are getting the maximum hits. We are the people who are keeping them loyal to the company, handling their escalation, handling their problem, and solving it within the service level agreement time. The whole point is everybody is right. Neither the coder can do without the GUI people, neither the GUI and the coder people can do it without the business escalation team. But what was lacking, I have seen it, is the coordination among the team, because everybody wanted their fair share of recognition, which is fine, which is fine. But ultimately what happened was, many a times I used to find that many cases got delayed because it was like, oh, this is not a part that we look into. This will go into the GUI team first, then once they do it, then we will look into it. The coda was, I wrote my codes, we wrote our codes, at the best, and if there is an escalation, it's none of our business. Now the thing is, every department had a different opinion, but it took some time to make them understand that it is true that your code is the main foundation of the or the architecture of the software. But when something goes wrong, it's the escalation team who is handling it. So the escalation team and your team, need to work hand in hand. And the GUI team, without their look and feel, it's absolutely true. We who had the privilege of working with the DOS operating system, and the Windows, we know the difference. We know what difference a mouse click and the window made. So when the GUI team is claiming their share, it is about coexisting. It is about learning from these three departments. I have found that what was lacking is uh, a kind of mutual recognition. When that was missing, every department was trying to make their presence felt, ultimately delaying the other department's work, and the unhappy customers had to come back again and again. So to reduce the escalation, what needed was done is, I had a talk with all the seniors, department heads, and I put in front of them, like, see, when we are working together, not only our escalation time gets reduced, the main thing is we will be able to reduce the escalations. If you as a coder extends the help as to, okay, let us recheck the coding part as to why this might be triggering, and then with the solution, if you are approaching the GUI team like, okay, we made this modification in this code, so maybe if you can add this extra tab or extra button, or an extra drop down, then this might get solved. And when these two departments are working together, they explain this new feature to the business escalation team. He or she found it much easier to go back to the client and say, hey, you know what, the other day you reported this case, and so what we did is we have come up with a new feature absolutely free for you, and this is absolutely customized for you. You can take care of your issue from here, and these are the features. Okay, why not we talk it over like a online training wherein I show you how to use that, and once you have used it, get back to us with the feedback, and we are here with three teams are working together, and we will be able to work much better on your problem. So not only the customer felt very, very privileged, just okay, for one problem of mine reported, see, it's the whole three department who has come forward and providing a solution. So what happened was the customers were happy, right? And the intensity of the escalation reduced. So when you are there, you need to learn from the heads of the department as to what works best for them, and what is the case of, or the point behind that discontentment. If you can learn that, not only you can reduce the contradictory instructions from the bosses, but the thing is you will be able to work in harmony with all these three bosses together. Second, I would say, like while you are dealing with a contradictory instruction or direction from the department heads, you need to keep it cool. It is absolutely bound, it is absolutely human that, many a times I used to also go into a conflict initial days, wherein I was able to, I was not able to understand what was the gap in between these three departments, because to me is ultimately one organization, and this product is your organization's product. Now, see, whether that mouse click works or not, whether the drop down menu works or not, whether the start menu works or not, in your operating system, ultimately the Windows 10 operating system or the latest operating system is a Microsoft product. So I as an end user, I don't care which department takes care of it, but I just want my problem to be solved. So keeping it cool and trying to explain the situation to these people or the department heads or the bosses are extremely difficult sometimes, because you need to understand you are a subordinate reporting to them, and when they give you a contradictory instruction, it becomes pretty difficult for you to follow the path as to which one to follow to reduce any kind of escalation or any kind of deviation. Because the thing is, if something goes right, the credit all goes to the bosses, and something goes wrong, honestly speaking, the team and the subordinates are to take the hit. So when you are that person wherein you are taking instruction from multiple bosses, it's I recommended that you keep your cool, because you need to explain to them the point of conclusion as to how is it impacting the contradictory instructions, how is it impacting the whole overall operation and the customer behavior with the organization. When you are able to negotiate, when you are able to make them understand that, not only it becomes much easier for you to work along, the main thing is the customer is always benefited. The customer is benefited with a improved service level agreement kind of time, average handling time, and they feel pretty taken care of, and they feel privileged. What that ensures is the loyalty from the customer, that ensures revenue maximization, that ensures more collaborations, that ensures more reference across the same industry. So keeping a cool in that situation is very important. How can you keep it cool? Is while you go and talk to your directors or your bosses, two different bosses, you need to keep a tag of what are the all points, what all points you are facing a problem. When a problem is faced, when a problem is faced by you, while working on the situation, it is much recommended that you go through the problem, you break it down into small chunks, I would say, small bulleted points as to, okay, these are the challenges and this is what I have done and these are my findings. So if we proceed with this, either we go into more deviation, causing more escalation, or we can reduce it. So go up to them with a solution. If you go up to them as an open question to them, obviously they will give you their feedback. Obviously their feedback is important, but the thing is, you need to also ensure that you are involved in it, because ultimately it is you who's going to take the hit, or your department who's going to take the hit if you fail. So make a point of the challenges, write it down, take time to think about it. If you are not able to solve those points, it is much recommended that you talk to other seniors in the organization. Maybe out of box thought can help you in understanding how to deal with the situation and how to even approach the other boss. The other seniors might be able to tell you some insights, and like how to work on this, how to analyze this data, how to go about report preparing, and how to approach your boss with the feedback collected. When that happens, I can ensure that not only you go to your boss pretty informed, you will be in much better position to negotiate better, to tell your point better, to tell the difficulties better. It is much recommended that you go and discuss this point, because the bosses wants a solution, because that's why you are being hired. But if you are going through a contradictory instruction, like one instruction is contradicting to the other boss's instruction, well, you need to consider in that situation which instruction is for the benefit of the client. And how to do that? You do a SWOT analysis of both the situation. Okay, these are the points, these are the strengths that I have in this situation, these are the weak points, and these are the opportunities we can explore. And obviously something goes wrong, these are the threats. So when you go up to your director and explain your finding, I think they will be much more open towards accepting a solution rather than discussing it with you, because the bosses feel sometimes pretty irritated when they have to discuss something about which they have already taken a decision of. Because as boss, they are much more in a position wherein they are decision makers and they don't like their decisions to be challenged. But when you go as a solution provider, you're not challenging that decision directly, you are not irritating that boss, and maximum thing what will happen is your solution might be accepted. So once that solution is accepted, once you get a good result, the other boss might find like, okay, I made that instruction to this guy, but when he worked on that particular line, you can take the best of both the bosses and you can work on that. And when the problem is solved, ultimately the result has to count. Ultimately the problem has to be solved. When the problem gets solved, none of the bosses will have a problem, because the organizational heads, the stakeholders understands that, okay, they still have the business is flowing, the collaboration is happening, and the clients are happy. Ultimately that's what matters. So the bosses will not literally I would say uh, disrespect the decision, or cancel or nullify that decision. So you have to keep that cool to explain the point. You cannot be taken aback by something which is with a bossy attitude, or a negative kind of comment, or a kind of feedback which is not very healthy. But the thing is, when you made your homework clear, you can approach them with much better solution. And when that happens, not only they accept your solution, but you evolve as the next level leader. Now with that, I can say that many a times these contradictory instructions appear to us because we tend to please everybody. I tell repeatedly to professionals, please do not try to be a pleasing machine. You do not have to be that yes employee always. You say yes to one boss, you say yes to another boss, you say yes to your subordinates, you say yes to anybody without doing the analysis. What will that do is, it will certainly land you up in a problem, because when you said yes, you didn't do the SWOT analysis of the situation. And now when you are faced with a problem and you go to the boss and say, hey boss, you know what, this appears to be not doable, then he would say, then why the hell did you say yes in the first hand? Now if you have said yes, I have made my commitments to the client, you need to deliver that, and the other boss also says the same. So the whole point of confusion or contradiction happens when you try to impress your boss, or you try to please everybody around. You need to learn how to say no. I keep on repeating, that is also our personal level problem. In our personal life, we tend to be the sweet guy to everybody. We tend to give a sugar coated answer to everybody. The result, we bitter the relationship, we break into into kind of fights, we go into kind of pandemic in times of relation handling, and in terms of man management, and in terms of operational skills in the organization also. You need to do analysis as to say your point firmly, sir, this appears to be a good suggestion, but the thing is, in the long run we might face these threats. We might have overlooked these opportunities to explore outside, and we didn't work on these weekends. We didn't work on this weakness which we have in the operation. If we take care of this weakness or the weak points, the problem is automatically solved, so it can be taken care of instead of a new solution. So please don't be that yes boss kind of employee, because that is the main reason why professional life and your work life balance gets screwed up. Honestly speaking, I have seen it in my 20 years of experience, that everybody around in the world tries to say yes to everything without even understanding what they're walking into. Now once you have walked into something difficult, you face the problem, you face the challenge, and you come back. Obviously it will irate me also. It will make me feel like, why the hell did you say yes then? Many a times I have always told to my team members, like, you do your part, you do your best, and you find out what is the weakness in getting back to the client with this kind of answers or this kind of solution. Because a solution which might be provided right now to make the customer happy might not work in the long run, might not work in a time frame of 5 years or 10 years. So you have to look into the customer's viewpoint as to what might this present solution solve and what it might trigger in the long run. Because many a times I have seen it is mainly happening at this, because I come from an IT background. I have seen this software support team, immediately the solution is provided to the client based on the present challenges. What mainly is ignored is, if we make this code level change right now today, in the long run, when the load increases, or when the parameters changes, or the number of employee changes, or the number of connectivity changes, or the kind of work environment of the technicality changes, is the software going to deliver 100% till then also? So a SWOT analysis as a mandate, and saying no to your boss is not impolite, but saying yes to everything and then failing to deliver, that is absolutely a catastrophe on your part as an employee. So guys, stop saying yes to everything. Do an analysis, work on the problems, get to the root of it. Do a RCA, root cause analysis, gets back to us with so much of problem solution. When we work on those, we need to work on those things which will solve those problems. You need to understand, saying a yes just because you're confused and getting back to your work and trying to figure it all by yourself is not really going to happen. You need to ask your boss, sir, this is what I understand of this situation or of your instruction. So as you are instructing me, I need to do this. When I am trying to do this, I am facing this findings, and on basis of this, I might suggest that in the long run, this might trigger this kind of challenges. So when you say no with an information, not only your boss is happy, he sees that you are also getting involved in the problem. He or she also finds you as a solution provider, not as a complainer. So guys, stop saying yes to everything. Okay, try to learn, try to have an open mind, try to learn from all the bosses and implement what's the best, and also be open to asking for a solution to your seniors, because many a times we try to figure out something which we never have encountered. If you have never encountered something before, you cannot work on that all by yourself without killing the time. But it might be much better, if you go ahead and ask a senior as to, this is a situation, these are the instructions which have been given to me, do you think this is going to yield this result? Because when I'm working on this, I am facing these problems. So this seniors might give you the solution. So with that note today, guys, let me tell you, the root cause of every confusion in the corporate world is that yes boss kind of employee who tries to impress everybody and ultimately screws up his own work-life balance. And then we have like, oh, I have so much of work pressure, my boss does not understand my problem, my boss is giving me work overloads, and so the thing is, before you even complain, you do not understand. You simply saying that yes on the first hand without doing a SWOT analysis or the root cause of the problem and what your contributions and skill sets might be required about that, you didn't work on that. And just because you wanted to impress the boss, but yeah, I'll take it care. I'll take care of it. Don't worry, I will work on that. That is good. That enthusiasm is good. But that enthusiasm has to be backed by a SWOT analysis done of the situation, without which you are walking into a dead trap. So with that note, guys, today, don't be that yes boss kind of employee. Be an open learner, contribute, and try to remain calm and cool when you are negotiating, when you are explaining the points. And the best part is, try to say no politely. Try to say no with your finding. Try to say no with your observation and with your feedback. With that kind of environment, not only you will be learning a lot, you will be evolving as a better leader yourself. So with that note today, guys, I wind up this session of Morning Vibes in Career Counseling Online. And thank you, ma'am, Aruna ma'am. Thank you so much for supporting me. It's so good to have you back with me. It's like a blessings to me and my show that you're watching. You're giving this time to me. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I literally feel so happy when I see my school teachers joining me. Can you believe that? 1993, I appeared from my ICSE board exams, and when my teachers join in my morning drive station, it is the best motivation that I can ever ask for. It is such motivating, it is such encouraging, and it is the best blessings that I can. As I always tell, the whole learning in my career or in my personal life has been with the teachers itself. Whenever I have faced a dark phase in terms of education, in terms of profession, in terms of my personal life, a teacher appeared. And with my teacher joining this morning vibe station, it is such a motivation. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's always a pleasure having you in my show. So with that note, guys, take care of yourself. Stay home. It's a weekend. Spend some time, reading, watching some good movies, and giving that nurture to that creative end in your mind. Don't be bogged down. I know you're working from home, so take care of your health, take care of your food habits, and stay safe. Stay home, stay safe. Take care and all the best. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. And as I always mention, learn, contribute, and evolve. Take care, guys. Bye bye.